Section 1 of which any other provision or any other action that is ultra virus the Constitution of Zimbabwe is illegal, it's unconstitutional, and therefore a nullity. So the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe on the 8th of October 2024 and on the 2nd of December 2024 purported to be giving or to be selling land to beneficiaries of the land reform that we did in 2000, in the year 2000. And he has actually created an illegal parallel structure, which is called the Land Tenure Implementation Committee, which is headed by one of his most corrupt...
Greetings, good people, fellow Zimbabweans. What is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe, ladies and gentlemen? We are seeing a break-in at Zimbabwe Presidential Guard Military Commander Fidelis Monda. At the same time, we are seeing Zimbabwe war veterans taking on Zimbabwe President Emerson Mnangagwa. Ladies and gentlemen, what happened and what is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe? We're going to be covering all that and more. We saw Kudakwashe Tagwirei flying into the Zimbabwe limelight. Then we saw Christopher Mnangagwa giving his remarks on all this that is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe. Now we're seeing this story of a break-in at a military commander's office. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe. Fidelis Monda, Brigadier General Fidelis Monda, walked into his office at KG6 Barracks, a heavily secured military site, to find it stripped bare. Official files, personal documents, family photos, Liberation War memorabilia, and services award all gone. Only his desk and chair would remain. Now we see on social media a political analyst called Lynn M would be breaking down this news and everything that has happened. Ladies and gentlemen, Monda, a polarizing figure, is accused of misusing presidential guard units for private interests, allegedly protecting figures like Cammander, KT, and WC. Political commentator Comrade Bombshell Geza claimed Monda pocketed 25,000 monthly from Cammander, as revealed in the viral video ya Blessed Geza Yakanyironzi, Generals for Sale. Now Monda's wife is also linked to coordinating KT's Young Women for It, the KT meaning Kudakwashe Tagwirei event in Masvingo, tied to controversial land tenure initiatives. We see it's all coming together right now. So what happens? Now this preacher raises serious questions. How did the intruders bypass multiple layers of security to be able to do this. This is happening at KG6 barracks, ladies and gentlemen, near Zimbabwe Defense Forces headquarters. Was this political sabotage? Was this an insider warning or a bold theft? The motives are unclear, but the implications are massive, shaking Zimbabwe's power structures, ladies and gentlemen. Then we see the war veterans are taking on Zimbabwe President Emmerson Mnangagwa. What action have they taken, and what does this mean? Now, ladies and gentlemen, let us dive into a political analysis of the current land dispute in Zimbabwe, where war veterans have taken President Emmerson Mnangagwa to court. We see Zimbabwe's land reform program, initiated in the year 2000, aimed to redistribute land from white farmers to black Zimbabweans, addressing colonial era injustices. However, it led to economic turmoil and unfulfilled promises. War veterans, who are key players in the liberation struggle, now challenge President Emmerson Mnangagwa's land policies, reflecting a deep-seated frustration over land tenure and governance.
Comrade Joseph Chingua and others who are war veterans have taken the president of the country to court and the minister of agriculture to court, and they are seeking relief in terms of section 2, subsection 1 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe, which states that any other provision or any other action that is ultra vires the Constitution of Zimbabwe is illegal, it's unconstitutional, and therefore a nullity. So the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe on the 8th of October 2024 and on the 2nd of December 2024 purported to be giving or to be selling land to beneficiaries of the land reform that we did in 2000, in the year 2000. And he has actually created an illegal parallel structure, which is called the Land Tenure Implementation Committee, which is headed by one of his most corrupt colleagues called Tagwirei. He is the one who is heading that committee. And that committee is the one that is now selling land to beneficiaries of the land reform, which we undertook from the year 2000. And this is what the war veterans are challenging. They are saying the actions of the president are illegal, the actions of the president are unconstitutional, and even the instrument that he's using, which is headed by Tagwirei, which is called the Lands Implementation Committee, it's outside the provisions of the Constitution, because our Constitution provides in Section 297 for a Lands Commission, and the Lands Commission is the one which is supposed to be seized by issues to do with the land tenure system in the country. The possibilities of success are there because the Constitution is very clear on what needs to be done if the government wants to alienate land. It's provided for in Section 293, subsection 3 of the Constitution. It specifically...
Ladies and gentlemen, now this dispute isn't just about land. It is a power struggle. The veterans accuse the war veterans accuse Mnangagwa of capturing state institutions, including judiciary and treasury, to maintain control. They claim his land tenure implementation committee, led by sanctioned businessman Tagwirei, is illegally selling state land. This challenge invokes constitutional sections highlighting a perceived disregard for legal processes and raising questions about the rule of law in the nation of Zimbabwe. Economically, this dispute threatens Zimbabwe's fragile agriculture sector, which is a cornerstone of the economy. Internationally, U.S. sanctions on Tagwirei. We see U.S. sanctions on Tagwirei for corruption and pressure, while regional dynamics in Southern Africa watch closely. The outcome could influence land governance across the region of the nation of Zimbabwe. Now, will the court side with the Zimbabwe war veterans? Is that a possibility, ladies and gentlemen? In the nation of Zimbabwe. Big up to everybody who's watching us live right about now. Big up to Search More Mano Mano. To those watching us live, you can write your comments in the top chat or in the super chat. That is how I can get to see your names so I can give you my shout out. So, what is being talked about here, ladies and gentlemen? A few days ago, we would see some videos of Kudakwashi Tagwirei making statements before we would see Mnangagwa coming in. We see videos like this one from Kudakwashi Tagwirei.
You are able to fight, you are able to protect yourself. But the way to world is power. So can I tell wealth to the power, to the arm?
That is a bold statement coming from Kudakwashi Tagwirei. When we have wealth, we have power. And we are seeing what happened at General Fidelis Monda's place. What does this mean? Is this all connected? Then we see this. Cammander.
Obenchi mugandia ni company knows fossil contracting. Sakapese pamunoona pachigadzwa nemarodzi ndiye uyu ndiye Cammander manje yakona company yake ndio inogadzira maroads. Ane company inozvakare inoita cement inonzi yaka kaya kumwe wacho asipo pana bandiane yaka uyane kaya cement yoti Lafarge achigananda ndokubura correct something at least ina ndiri kupa credit yasiri yako anditori zvinhu zviri zvako uyu ndindakamukudza kuti aite business kubva achitanga asi.
All right, so we are seeing this, ladies and gentlemen. What are the war veterans talking about? The war veterans of Zimbabwe, what are they talking about? Oh my God. This is what they're talking about. Or is this what they're talking about?
Unofanira kubhadhara kana uri civil servant unobhadhara $273 pagore for 20 years. Ndo Mnangagwa ivavo. Ndo 20 for 20 years unombotibhadhara $273.68. Kana usiri civil servant seni unobhadhara $288.39 for 20 years. For 20 years. And the next slide.
Yeah, don't you war veteran here, ladies and gentlemen. Let us watch this clip to find out. Big up to everybody who's watching us live. To those watching us live, you can write your comments in the top chat or in the super chat. That is how I can get to see your name so I can give you my shout out, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I'm going to switch off my camera so that computer resources as we do continue.
Unofanira kubhadhara kana uri civil servant unobhadhara $273 pagore for 20 years. Ndo Mnangagwa ivavo. Ndo 20 for 20 years unombotibhadhara $273.68. Kana usiri civil servant seni unobhadhara $288.39 for 20 years. For 20 years. And the next slide. Kana baba kana mai kana iwe uri war veteran. War veteran. Ndara ndovatizo. The first 5 hectares, them war veteran. Ndara ndovati unobhadhara $10 per hectare. Zoreva kuti izvo. For 5 hectares, unobhadhara mari. Murukuziva here? $50. Kana uri more veteran. Saka, the 60 hectare, ndio unozobhadhara $500. Saka total amount yacho yobva yaita mari $550. Saka ma discounts aya are not applicable to the $500 manje. Saka unozopiwa ma discounts 15%, $82.50 kana uri more veteran still. Over one civil servant, $27.50. Unopiwa an extra discount kana uri more veteran. 15%. Yobva yaita $27.50. Ndo vakaenda kagondo. Saka tofanira kuvachengeta zvakanaka. My civil service $27.50, region 3 discount $11, cash payment $82.50. So for 6 hectares, my whole veteran achabhadhara $346.50. For land, it is worth $10,000. Those are going to Namdara for my whole veterans. Because Mnangagwa, over the last 5 years, I know we are going to be able to achieve this. Kana mchinzwa kuti vision 2030 isu tatora ma numbers avo tikama extrapolate tikamasuta ku 2050 kuti tione kuti nyika yedu inenge yamira sei. Saka 153 billion GDP, 29 billion from agriculture. We are going to have invested by that time $40 billion more agriculture. Total production investment needed in agriculture will be 13 billion. Value addition yedu ma industry anenge achibva mu agriculture 17.5 billion. Hard and soft infrastructure 15 billion. 2.5 billion total value addition. Munoziva kuno muZimbabwe tine vanhu vanonzi ma-actuary. Saka takatsvaga ma-actuaries akati extrapolate information yekuti tikafamba negwara riri kudiwa navaMnangagwa manumbers edu anenge akamira sei. Ndo manumbers.
All right. To those who are watching us live right about now, let us pause at this moment. Whatever your feelings you have towards anyone, listen to the language that Tagwirei is talking about actuaries, talking about the future, talking about investments. You, as a Zimbabwean, what do you spend your time thinking about? What do you talk about? Unotaura nyaya dzekuti bhutsu yanhingi ndakaimaka here, mukadzi wake aite. Or you can be inspired. There is some worlds that exist in Zimbabwe out there, opportunities waiting for you to grab them. Fellow Zimbabweans, are we going to be reduced to mere hecklers? Ana bahari, ana beuzabab, ana bwa, aywa. Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, don't join the povo. If you join the povo, you will wallow in poverty. Big up to everybody watching us live. Pikanisi says, Avukeni, our news provider, Dr. Clarence, good work. Watching you from Bloemfontein, South Africa. Big up. Enough respect. Thank you very much. We shall overcome. Kimberly, everybody who's watching us live. Venencia Mavure. Bear with me, guys. Not gonna be consistency. Sometimes equipment young winning chi. You know, I stay in the ghetto, and the ghetto is a dysfunctional society. There are many dysfunctional fools here. Kambira. Where I stay. It's Zungwiroro, Kushaya Msoro. So we have brainless people in the ghetto. wekuti unoshaya kuti ari kude chii pandiri, uda kundiudza chii, ndiwani, unoita nezvei. You know, vanhu vasina kana skill vanoda kusalutwa nemakadii henyu. Mamuka sei, who are you? You just happen to be a guy who stays maybe in the same street.
16.9 million hectares of the 39 million in an area by large and small commercial farmers. 3 million hectares will be cumulative commercial arable land under irrigation. Munoziva here kuti muZimbabwe muno madhamu atinawo anokwanisa kuirrigata 2 million hectares. Asi munoziva here kuti only under 250,000 is under irrigation.
So whatever Kudakwa Tagwirei is talking about, he's talking about his maneuvering and his vision, researching. So we may call him Matsotsi or what? Aruchaka mabasa. Sekala zakaimba katichaka mabasa. Do you know I want a basa, uta basa ni mabasa yabangwe wanu. Ukine uchivayo, itsotsi. Munhu ari kurwadziwa because chivaya aita zheti aita peki. You as an ordinary Zimbabwean right now, autonyorwe here, unotonyorwa mari dollar pondo. Iwe utonyorwa pondo. Then you become a heckler, an accuser of brethren. Just because mumwe munhu atonyora 1 million, kana atonyorwa 1 million, ladies and gentlemen, that does not improve our individual lives.
Mchaona zvakare kuti chawana imwe 1 million kubva kupi? 20,000 hectares, 22,000 hectares chaisa ma fruits, 60,000 toisa mshuga. Ndokwaye kumusha kuno shuga. 7.8 million tons tichadzwana kubva kuhorticulture, 32 million kubva ma crops. Tinenge tine 135,000 dairy cows, 6.9.
Let me rewind a bit. A lot of Zimbabweans do not like to listen to subjects like this. So what do? We force them on videos like this one.
5 billion. Hard and soft infrastructure, 15 billion. 2.5 billion total value addition. Munoziva muno muZimbabwe tine vanhu vanonzi ma-actuary. Saka takatsvaga ma-actuaries akati extrapolate information yekuti tikafamba negwara riri kudiwa nava Mnangagwa, manumbers edu anenge akamira sei. Ndo manumbers amuri kuona. 16.9 million hectares of the 39 million inenge iri yema large and small commercial farmers. 3 million hectares will be cumulative commercial arable land under irrigation. Munoziva here kuti muZimbabwe muno madhamu atinawo anokwanisa kuirrigata 2 million hectares. Asi munoziva here kuti only under 250,000 is under irrigation. Muchaona zvakare kuti chawana imwe 1 million kubva kupi? 20,000 hectares, 22,000 hectares chaisa ma fruits, 60,000 toisa mshuga. Ndokwaye kumusha kuno shuga.
Toisa mshuga. Ndokwaye kuno kumusha mushuga. He is in Chiredzi. As we can watch, we see the building there. We can see the ceiling. Who else do we see here? We see, this is the event where we see Chiwenga stealing the show, or is it? We see this.
President Dr. Mnangagwa. Basile Mandu. Uyu. Yambakare bakufura asikuru bani. Sitango hake kule. Uyu. Yambakare
Uyu nyangwa akareba kundidarika asi mukuru kwandiri, musikanzwa wake kuda kureba kupfuura president. This is a joke, what we call a literal joke. Asi kune munhu anogona kuboekana nestatement iroro. The Bible, somewhere Matthew, I think Matthew 28 says, a merry heart worketh like good medicine. Laughter is the best medicine according to the Bible. Asi vamwe vanhu havafari. Munhu ane ruvengo rekuvenga Mnangagwa, nekuvenga Zanu PF, nekuvenga munhu wepa next door, evil hatred, and you feel entitled to be hating. Kuchisiyana nezvekuvenga vamwe vanhu ka, chingoita rudo ida zvaunoda. I leave you with one commandment: love one another. Corinthians 13, the last verse. Faith and hope will come to pass, but love will remain. The greatest is love. For if you love the Lord, you will obey this command. Now, who is the Lord, lady? You are the Lord. Either you are the Lord, you operate with the Holy Spirit, with your conscience, with your conscientiousness, with your consciousness. Whether you are Lord Malvin, kana Lord Eku England, kuma British Empire. How to relent, Lord. Right. It's all about how you view yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Don't reduce yourself to being a heckler, to being a Baal. You don't bow to Baal. Don't bow to Jezebel. Don't bow to Beelzebub. The fools will be like, give us Barabbas and crucify Jesus. But I tell you, on this day today, Clarence Kuzai Patsika, on 28 May 2025, the devil is a small boy. Sit down, Satan. You might be engaged in your evil activities, satanic activities in your personal life. You are only doing evil unto yourself. You reap what you sow. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter what comments you put on social media. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not a deputy God. God is not a democratic God. Ladies and gentlemen, for everything, there is a time and a season, a time to sow and a time to reap, a time to be happy and a time to weep, a time to plant. Yeah, there is a time for everything, ladies and gentlemen. What are you doing? What are you planning? Are you waiting for a next president to be giving you a job? What is your profession? Unoita nezei. Anyways, handi kumakuwa. Chiwenga ngakachena kudarika Mnangagwa. Anditi kandonya ize madofu idzi. Kana uchingofara nyaya idzodzo uri dofo. No apology.
Musikango wake kule kufura president.
Now, what should we take up? This computer i7 in a 32 megabytes RAM. You could remember neka video aka 460 something like that, whatever. I'm not stupid. I'm a very highly intelligent scientist. Matsaga anofunga kuti anondi attacker. Wekuti ukaita 6 score wa passa. Indikaita 99% na foira. I destroy all of you. So fellow Zimbabweans, takangwara tikutongwa nechembere. Takangwara nditi. Moda uchita makangwara You choose crime. Chichine mari. Kuchaka mari nekuba mari achaga mari. Ko kabila achaga mari asisina capital reinvestment. Muchaita say, the devil is destined for doom. The devil is destined for death. It can never work. Daitanga tisipo. Ko chicha chambo itika kuti Mwari azotumira mwanakomana wake kuti afe kuti nyika isaparare. Chicha chaitika. Inonsense zamunoswera muchiita. Muchizita nhubu. What are you achieving? Murderers, robbers. What are you doing? Woe unto every evildoer, every evil worker, every satanist, every hooker, every worker, every witch, every weapon of the devil, every satanic activity roaming around the world, seeking who to devour. Woe unto them. Woe unto them. Yeah. This is 2025, ladies and gentlemen. 3 years from now, when we reach 2028, ladies and gentlemen, keep being corrupt. Keep doing your nuisance. Urimprisa weskopa roadblock. Urukutadza munhu kufamba urushungurudza because urukuda pondo. So do you think Jesus Christ died on the cross so that you can get $2 on a roadblock? Ladies and gentlemen, you will die. Physical death, suffering, physical ailments. I declare in the name of Jesus and in my name, Clarence Kuza Ivatsika, I sign out.